Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you are returning, y'all, thank you so much for coming back to see me, okay? All right, so my last video, I reset my budget and I stuffed $200, but my total cash envelopes that I had was $320. And honestly, to some people, guys, that may not be a lot of money to make it through one half of the month. So today I want to show you guys exactly how I'm planning to stretch that 320 and how I divided it into my envelopes, kind of like pretty much doing like a recap and the strategy that I'm using to stay consistent for this month. And two of the things that I actually incorporated into my budget is my tracker book and then my shop book. These things go in like together with my everyday spending wallet, no matter which wallet, because I like to switch my wallets out. But no matter whichever wallet I have, these all play a part in going and working together. So because if you are on a tight budget like me, like now I'm tight budget, every single dollar has a job. So let's get into it, guys. Now, if you did watch my last video, you saw that I'm starting the month with $200 physical cash, and I do have a total of $320 that I stuffed because I have my gas envelope and I have my groceries and household envelope that is pretty much cashless. Now, for me, my budget is never always perfect. It's about being intentional, and I had to learn this, especially with my money, because when money is tight, y'all, it is so easy for it to disappear without you even realizing where the heck it went. So, like I said, this month, my thing is to slow down, reset, and give every dollar a purpose. And today, y'all, I want to walk you through how I'm planning it and how it's going. But later in the video, guys, I'll show you the category that's probably going to be the hardest to stay on budget with. So yeah, it ain't easy, okay? Okay, so when you have that you're planning your budget, this is pretty much where my planning really happens. So before I spend anything, I always have to decide where every dollar goes first. And then these are the categories here that I showed you guys in my budget planner that I use to figure out what I'm going to use. So first, before you do your budget planner, you need to figure out what are your main bills that you need to pay, the non-negotiables. These are it right here. And Netflix doesn't have to be a non-negotiable, but this one is an automatic that comes out of there. So you get what I'm saying, right? So after I have like my savings and the debt, then I go to my cash envelopes, things that I can like play around with. And these are all the categories. And as you can see, I don't stuff a lot in my envelopes. And some of them, a couple of them I already used. So when I was doing it, I did have to reevaluate a couple of them, but that is okay. So let's get into it and talk. Oh, and let's enjoy a sip of coffee, guys. Ooh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, so the first category is going to be groceries. All right, so food is obviously one of the most important things in your budget because you got to eat, but it is also one of the easiest places that I used to overspend all the time. And for my groceries, because sometimes I'll do pickup and sometimes I will order online. So my thing is I just do this cashless because it just works out better for me. Now, this is where my shop book comes in. So I've already started my list for my groceries. And what I do is I just keep this on my desk, or I just keep this in my purse. And the things that I need to remember to write down, I just write this down on here. If I have a coupon, I'll check it. And then if I do a pickup, when I get all my groceries, I get home, I go through and I check everything off to make sure that everything is in the bag and it's not missing. If I'm in the grocery store, I check off if I put it in the basket so that way I can keep up with what is in my, if I got all of my food for pickup, or if I got all of my items in the store that I needed to get so that I don't have to make extra runs. And I do if I'm doing delivery or pickup there. So that is how I figure out with my grocery list. So this is pretty much a running grocery list. And like the items that are buy 2 get 3 free, usually I'll do a sticky note if they have like, just say like if they have like the ginger ale drinks, buy 2 get 2 free. I'll just put that I want to get 2 ginger ales or 2 fruit punches, so that way I'll know the different flavors that I want. So I'll have that back here. Yeah, this little book is getting beat up because I use it all the time. So for this month, I'm planning to keep groceries simple and focus on the basics. And I am going to be using what I have in my pantry to compare to what I actually need. And that has been actually helping, because last time I compared what I needed to make meals with what was in my cabinets and my fridge, and I actually saved $13.34. Usually I don't have anything in my grocery envelope. I was actually pretty happy for that. Now, next for gas prices can actually fluctuate. So I try to give myself enough here so I'm not stressed if I need to drive somewhere unexpectedly. But for me, everything is pretty much close. So those are the things that you have to factor in when you're doing gas. And a lot of people do gas up. Somebody posted in the comment, don't forget about gas up. I did. So now I'm telling you what they told me about gas up. So I give myself $50, and $50 do add up. Now, another thing that I use, because I do shop at Kroger's, I utilize my gas points, and I use those, and that helps me get gas a little bit cheaper than what it normally is. So if you have a rewards point system that you can use with like buying groceries, because you always have to buy groceries, and that's like a non-negotiable. So why not use those points and use it towards your gas? So it makes it a lot easier for me. All right, so next I have personal spending. And we're going to go here. All right. So now for personal spending, I still have $20 in here. This is for small purposes, and it is really for things that just might pop up, like a small treat or something I forgot. I actually brought a $8 purse at a thrift shop, and I was just browsing. It wasn't supposed to be like I was looking for a purse. And I saw this DKNY purse. I posted on my Instagram, for I know some of you guys don't have Instagram that are on Facebook here. And this is what the purse looked like, y'all. This is super cute. I don't want to, ooh, y'all, I need to make sure I don't burn this. All right, so this is what it looks like. And I did look online, and it is still a purse they sell in Belk's. It is actually in really good condition. I got some little sticky stuff on there. But yeah. And it is so awesome to, I got a lot of junk in here. I got a lot of crap. But it is so awesome to, look at this, to just carry around if you just want to carry a quick bag. I didn't realize how nice it was until I got it home. It just attracted my attention. But it's actually really nice. So that's the purse I got for, it was $7, but I put almost $8 because of tax. And so what I have to do is I have to break this 20 up, and I need to put $12 back in here. So what I'm actually going to do I'm going to put this in extra cash. And then remember to go, when I go, I need to get change for that, because I don't think I have enough for that. All right, so another category that I had was actually, I'm going to put this to the side, was savings. And I need to do better with that. I mean, I know every amount counts, but I just feel that I need to do a lot better. So for the savings, we have, even though my budget is tight, I still want to build in a habit of putting something away so it doesn't have to be a lot. But I'm learning that consistency is a lot better than just not doing it at all or skipping it. So for this time, I only did $50 for that. And so that was actually pretty good, but because I did withdraw, so that's why I didn't do anything for emergency. So I always like to also set a little bit of aside for sinking funds. That's what I did. So I did add some to my vacation binder, and that ended up being $15. And then I also did a little bit savings to savings challenge. I do feel good for adding that to my vacation binder, because that is more than actually what I have, and it pretty much motivates me to go a little bit further and save even more. So one thing that I've learned about budgeting is that it does not have to be a perfect system. So I know sometimes people will be like, I don't save enough, I don't do enough that I need to do, but it's all about building systems, guys, that actually works for your real life. That's how I look at it. And then for eat out, like I said, so some months, y'all, are going to be easier than others. And some months you really have to pretty much scratch the dollar. And so this month is one of the months that I'm going to be trying to scratch my dollar and not spend as much. So strategy that I will be using will be how to make it work. So this will be how I'm using this cash that I just added to my envelope. So first I'm going to prioritize over the essentials, like grocery, gas, and basic needs always comes first. So we have, as you can see, those have the normal amounts. And then second, I'm going to be really mindful. That's what I thought of spending on food, because a lot of times it's the little purchases that add up. So we did end up eating out, and I need to focus on, but I have been actually doing good. But we had, like I said, this is one of those moments where we had basketball and it wasn't planned, but they won the playoffs again, guys. They won, and so they had to play again. So when they do that, they just schedule another game, whatever. So that wasn't a normal eat out. So we did spend like 40 something dollars. Here we go. We spent $43 on food, and that's why I like to keep it in here so I can keep track of what I'm spending money on. And I do say, other than this, I have been actually doing pretty good with, like, instead of getting snacks, buying extra snacks, I prep my yogurt, granola, and strawberry, and I eat that as a snack. And also I utilize my McDonald's and Chick-fil-A rewards. And thinking about that, I do have a free biscuit for this morning, so I might go grab that for my breakfast. And third, guys, I am focusing on consistency. That's why I'm actually doing this video. So even if the amounts are small, showing up and sticking to the budget is what is going to really make a difference. So I do have some cash left in splurge. So I have $4 left. Couponing, and then miscellaneous, I have 20. I'm surprised I haven't used this money yet. And then remember the 20, I need to get change. And then I already had 20 in extra cash, and I still have for grocery because I'm still making a grocery list. And then gas, I have not had to use that. So the real test is going to be what happens over the next few weeks for my cash that I have in my wallet. My goal is to pretty much keep as much of it as possible. I've already taken out 30 and then some money off of splurge. So that's almost, we failed on the eat out, because the budgets always look good on paper, y'all, but real life has a way of testing them, testing you. So in my next video, guys, I'm going to share my first budget check-in, see where we're at with this, and whether this 320 budget is actually working or if I'm already running into problems with it. So, because you know how sometimes you're like, I know she ain't just putting that much in there. I need to focus more on checking to see if it actually works. So if you are always trying to budget on a tight income, or you're working on being more consistent with your money, you're definitely not alone. And I love for you to follow along with me on this journey. And thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. And until next time. Oh, don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe button, guys, because that helps out my channel. And until next time, guys, peace.